is a method of disinfection. Chlorine kills all the pathogenic bacteria, but it has no effect on viruses, cysts, and spores. Apart from its germicidal action, it has secondary effects also, like oxidation of iron, manganese, and hydrogen sulfide. It also controls the growth of algae. Action of chlorine. When chlorine combines with water, it leads to the formation of hydrochloric acid and hypochlorous acid. Hydrochloric acid combines with the alkaline nature of the water, and hypochlorous acid is the main substance which is responsible for disinfection of the water. Chlorine acts as a best disinfectant at the pH 7 because of predominance of hypochlorous acid. When pH is more than 8, the hypochlorous acid dissociates to form hypochlorite ions and hydrogen ions, and which are much lesser in efficacy as compared to hypochlorous acid. Principles of chlorination. Initially, we take water to be chlorinated. It should be clear and free from turbidity. Then we calculate chlorine demand of the water, and chlorine demand is the amount of chlorine required to kill all the pathogenic bacteria and to oxidize all the organic matter and ammonical substances present in the water. Thirdly, the presence of free residual chlorine is required for the contact period of at least 1 hour to make the water fit for drinking. And the sum of chlorine demand and free residual chlorine gives us the correct dose of chlorine to be applied. Then have the test to calculate free chlorine, combined chlorine, and total chlorine in water. We have orthotolidine test and we have orthotolidine arsenide test. The orthotolidine test tells us about the free chlorine and total chlorine amount in the water, whereas the orthotolidine arsenide test tells us about the free chlorine and combined chlorine amount in the water. Among the two, the orthotolidine arsenide test is better because it directly tells us about the amount of combined chlorine, and secondly, it is not affected by the impurities of the water. Then methods of chlorination. We can use chlorine gas. We can use chloramine or perchlorone. Chlorine gas is preferred because it is cheap, it is efficient, and it is easy to apply. Chloramine is a compound of chlorine with ammonia, and it produces more consistent type of residual chlorine. Then we have perchlorone. Perchlorone is a compound of chlorine with calcium.